Welcome, everyone. We are so excited today to go live with Kirsi and Lacey, both of which okay, I guess we can just say this. Why not, Kirsi, right? Because you've said it before.
Yeah.
They're 2023 speakers this year.
Yay!
And we will be announcing the whole lineup this week, and it'll be going on sale later this week. But we just all wanted to come on. We've been talking offline, and we just want to talk about the industry. And we're in December, and I know in the Midwest, it slows down for us, and we start to reevaluate and change our website, make our game plan for the new year. Yeah. What's it like for you guys right now? What are you doing with your business?
I take January off of photo shoots typically. I do have one photo shoot because I've had a few reschedules. You know how it goes. But I have one photo shoot in all of January, and the rest of that time for me, because of what I do, I'm painting new sets for the new year. I'm organizing. I'm doing some back end stuff, taxes and all that fun stuff too. How about you, Kirsi?
I have a rule. You can't talk about taxes until the new year has come.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to interject right here, right now. Taxes should not be the dirty T word, okay? Yeah. I have a bookkeeper come every month, and then in January, after the last statement has come through, she does it, and then I go take it to the CPA. I used to be that person that would sit there with stacks of receipts, and I would promise myself, never, ever, ever, ever again. And every year I would be right back there promising myself.
Yeah, I try and do a monthly, or sometimes it's every other month. Just, making sure I have everything in order. So I will say the last, I think Vickie, it was you that was like, get it together, girl. And since then it's less scary. And I get them done by January. I used to be like a extension person, and now I'm not. So that's good.
The extension just prolongs the agony. It's back there. It's anxiety. It's stress. Yeah, no. Okay, Kirsi, what are you doing now that we've done the whole scolding of the taxes thing?
So in December, I take a break from seniors. Most of their senior deadlines are done by December 1st. I have one that's December 9th, but then I take a break and then I resume in March. So it's I just work and then get a little bit of time off. So travel a little bit, and then business wise, just get my marketing ready for the next year. If I want to update my pricing, website, all of that, back end stuff. And then I have a couple presentations to work on. So that's always in the back of my mind, even if I'm not physically making a presentation, but what content do I need for it? Because there's lots of prep work in video shooting and that kind of stuff. So I have a presentation to make by the end of the year.
Yes, you do. I have one more shoot left, and it's with my crew, and it is Sunday. And I haven't done this in a hot minute, really did a styled shoot, because a lot of my stuff is, I'm a basic photographer. Let's just call it what it is. I'm a basic photographer. So I haven't done a super styled shoot since pre-COVID. And so I got the crazy idea. I'm going to make it look like New Year's Eve threw up in my studio.
Yes, I love it.
I have Amazon coming every day. I have almost 300 balloons. And I finally realized I don't have enough hot air to blow up those balloons. So I literally posted that in the group. Me and the moms are all volunteering. But, I've got every color of streamer curtain. I've got silver. I got pink. I got black. I've got disco balls. I've got confetti balloons. I got regular balloons. I've got metallic balloons. They're
going to love it.
Can I just say, I have a question. Why are disco balls so expensive?
So expensive.
Why?
Go to Walmart.
Really? They have them there? Because
the whole thing that I wanted
to do ombre
tree, And I found a ball like this big for $2.98.
Oh, no way.
And it was too big to hang on the tree. I don't know what I was thinking, but my daughter, being the girly girl that she is, picked the disco thingies off the bottom and took a kitchen knife and hollowed it out and stuck it on top of the tree as a tree topper.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
But yeah, disco balls are expensive. I got a big one and then a bunch of little ones for like $45 off of Amazon, like a 12-inch, which I feel is, good enough. And then like 8, 6, they have like a variety pack.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything. It's just a prop.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, why are they? Because I was going to rent some like big ones and they were like $99 to rent. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Each one. So yeah, I also am doing disco New Year's Eve. So you and me are on the same wavelength, girly. I love it.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, so everybody's kind of working on refreshing, revamping their business, getting excited for the new year. What do you guys want to talk about today?
Well, I really wanted to ask, I don't know if you've been asked all of these questions. I have some like things, but Kirsi, I don't, we know each other. We've taught at the same things, but I don't know how you really got started like on your photography journey fully. I know that I've seen those lovely photos that you showed on your thing and they're gorgeous, but from 2014 or 2015, did you say when you started?
I actually started before that.
Okay.
I had an online boutique. So I was buying wholesale clothing and then taking pictures and, had the whole website, Instagram, all of that. And it's just so picture heavy and it's so expensive to hire someone to shoot all of your new inventory, like every day or every week. It was just becoming like a huge expense. And also people didn't want to do it. I feel like, you can find fashion photographers, but in the smaller area where I live, like, I'm trying to round up, sorry, there's like a hair on my nose or something, senior photographers or family. And they're like, no, I don't want to, shoot 50 outfits today. Yeah. And so, of course, I was like, I will do it. I got a camera, Canon Rebel, from Costco, the whole starter kit, and was like, I'm going to do this. And was just taking them on auto, which kind of solved the problem initially. But then I was like, no, they have to be better than that. So I start Googling, right? I know nothing about photography. This is like maybe 2010. How do I get the background blurry? Because I had noticed that other people had these nice blurry backgrounds and mine are all in focus, right? Because I'm on F8 or whatever. And then I started being like, oh, okay, so I need a different lens. So then I get the nifty 50 because it'll go down to 2.0 or whatever. And just literally self-taught. I've watched some Creative Live classes. And literally I went to the beach because then I thought, okay, so I can configure this all on manual. But if the subject moves, I'm screwed. And so I was like, if I'm going to be shooting, I need to change these settings fast. So I would follow a seagull and be, be okay, wherever they go, now he's in the shade. Now he's moving over into the sun. Okay, what's the fastest I can change the settings to take the sun picture? Oh, and just practice. And I feel like people think that's a joke when they're asking me how to get started in photography. I'm like, well, you have to practice. Yeah. I had someone messaging me the other day, oh, how can my pictures look like yours, in editing? And I'm like, well, you've got a lot to cover before you get to editing. So then I was shooting for my boutique and just, going on and on. And then somebody from my church was like, can you take my senior pictures? And I was like, oh, no, I don't do that. This is my work. And I literally didn't realize the senior industry had changed since I had my senior photos in 2004, where I'm like literally on a pillar, like your cliche senior photo in the studio, like leaning on a pillar. And I was like, oh no, like I don't have any of that equipment. Like I don't have a pillar. There's no way. And she was like, no, look, like they look like models now. And she had showed me, I don't know if it was Amanda or whatever, but some like amazing senior photos. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, like I know I'm not that good, but like, okay, I get it. She wants to be like twirling in a field. Like, okay. And so I took hers and her and one of her friends. And then for the yearbook around here, they make you put like your name. And I didn't even have a website, but I put like my business website. And I was like, okay, in the directory. And to be able to submit a yearbook photo, you had to get fingerprinted and background checked and like this whole thing. And I was like, okay, so I had to do that for her. And I like literally, it wasn't even on my radar. And then the next year, I had 80 photo shoots from people.
Gosh.
Just like her telling people and like people looking at what I guess was like my business Instagram, because I didn't even have like a website or a portfolio. And so I was like, okay, I guess there's like a big need for people that don't want to be leaning on a pillar in their senior photos. Like, I don't know. So I just kind of went with it and I was like, okay. Like I quickly got together some basic pricing and, you know, that I could text people when they inquired and put up like just a homepage of a website that like made a business name. So you guys, this is so funny. I get asked this all the time. Like, what is like LK Photo Shoots? That's my business name. My name's Kirsi. But they're like, what's the L? So when I started, I did not know how to pose. Like posing, I was like, okay, I can come and like focus on the camera, but if you want me to do anything besides that, like I don't even have the brain power to like do that. Like what? I'm supposed to be like telling them what to do and working the camera like at the same time. And so I made my sister come and I made this like binder that had like poses in it that we got from Pinterest. And she would like help pose them and like show them like the inspo pictures.
I love that.
And I would take the pictures. And so we were doing it together for probably like a full year. So her name's Lena. That's the L. But now I don't want to change it because I am like deep in with like logos being on everything and just like, I don't know. I feel like it's too much of a hassle. So yeah.
You know,
So
I thought the L was like love, Kirsi.
Oh my gosh, I could rebrand to that.
There you go.
I assumed. That's what I get for assuming. And by the way, everybody on here, feel free to drop comments or questions. We will answer them while
I love questions.
Yeah, so I just assumed it was Love Kirsi.
That's really cute. That's like Sincerely Mari.
Yeah, that's cute. I love that story. That's beautiful. Like that you know, you found a need in your market. And I also had like a Greek column. I'm not Greek at all in my senior portraits with like some dusty fake flowers, you know. It was terrible.
I need to pull up my senior pictures. I'll ask my mom. I think she'll know exactly where they are and I can post it in the comments.
We need people posting their senior photos.
Mine,
it was like a case of Aquanet. It was the poof hair,
oh my gosh.
Oh, but I love seeing all of our community members' senior photos when we do that post. So let's just bring that back today.
Yeah, let's do it. I commit to like making my mom find mine.
And I love how you used a binder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what I did is it's similar, but it's crazy. We all do things a little different. And that's what I love about this. I would make essentially what you would put in your binder on my computer screen. And then I would take my card and shoot it. So if I'm looking at the camera, I don't look like I'm pausing. I'm looking at the last photo when I'm really looking at well, at the time I was looking at, oh my God, I want to do this. I don't do that anymore. But in the beginning, that's how I did it.
Yeah.
We all
used to make collages. I would cut out magazine and make collages and put them on my studio, I call it a studio. It was my pool house door. So we would be like, okay, well, this is the vibe today. I still like doing that sometimes because it's kind of meditative, but Pinterest is just so much easier.
Well,
I always say though, okay, whoever and I guess that's maybe on me and you and whatever, but we need to update Pinterest, as an industry. When you search senior pictures, the same ones are coming up that I was pinning in 2011 that are now. And I'm like, okay, how do I do this? We got to have new material popping up on here when you're looking for pose inspo or just inspiration in general. I'm like, okay, we're 10 years behind Pinterest.
Yes, I will say there's something that I'm on Tailwind. I don't know if you guys have heard of Tailwind. Fuse was the one who turned me on to it. I love it. And I've been trying to update the Pinterest senior posing stuff myself because, you still see train track photos.
Oh, God.
I'm like, what the heck? But Tailwind is great. I highly recommend it. I can post links to it, and Fuse is really great. I also have a referral code if people want it.
Kirsi, you have a message on here. I know you guys can't see the comments. We can't see who's posting them.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. You can see it. Yeah, you lost me at 2004, Kirsi. My senior portraits were taken to the Dirty Dancing soundtrack when it was originally released. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's even better. Oh my gosh. Adding music to your set, big fan.
Yeah, same.
Okay, I know you got questions, Lacey, but I just have to address this one. So we're at this point in our business where historically we decide what worked, what didn't work. Are we raising our prices? Are we not raising our prices? How did you feel, Kirsi, when you raised your prices that first time, when you went to the BAM pricing?
Mm-hmm.
So I had creeped them up. Actually, I never really did a big jump because somebody told me, and in the beginning, I don't remember who, I don't even think it was a senior industry person, that for every 5 shoots you do,
Jasmine
to
Star,
raise your prices a little bit because you're improving and you're worth more. And so I never made that jump. Just all of a sudden my mom was like, who's paying this? And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm kind of expensive. I crept them up $100 or $150 at a time until they're just up there in the thousands.
That's totally a Jasmine Star credit.
Yeah, even at $100 a time, I would be like, oh, this is it. This is the price jump where nobody's gonna hire me anymore. I've done it. We can't, this is I'm done for.
It's dead.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I just say, anyone that's super afraid of that, my first year of my tween team, I didn't know what to price it. I mean, I had an approximation, but it was a new thing. And I was like, okay, I know how much my seniors pay. The teens are a little bit less, but tweens, how much are these parents going to pay when I'm doing less shoots and less styling and all of that? So it was an entry-level price the first year. And I actually upped it $1,000 the next year and 100% re-signed up. 100%. Wow. So anyone that's terrified that they're going to add, $100 or $200 or $300, remember that, because if you show that, your work is valuable and your clients value you, they're going to come back.
Mm-hmm. And what I tell some of my coaching clients when they're nervous about that is add, for every time you jump your prices, add value to your business. So I tell them add a page to your inquiry guide every time you jump up your prices, because they're like, well, how do I get all of this? And I'm like, just make it one page at a time, make a pricing, then make an about me, and then be like, okay, I'm going to make like why we're different. I'm going to make a portfolio page. So like do something that adds like a value to your business every time you jump your prices so that they go hand in hand. Like as you move up, you're like, oh my gosh, I have a full-blown what to wear guide. Do something that either invests in your business that's going to make you better or makes like a better client experience as you go along, so that as your pricing is jumping up, people are like, oh, this is legit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Can you guys speak to growth from the point you felt you had your shit together? Oh, I said the S word on
Do
live.
we?
Like your team is solid, your prices are high, and your clients value you.
Whew.
I think that you're constantly growing. I mean, every time I think I've got my shit together, I'm adding a new layer to my business. And I'm speaking for me. You guys can tell me I'm crazy, which wouldn't be the first time. But I think if we ever get to the point that we think we have it all, that we don't need to grow anymore, we've got it nailed down, I think that's fool's gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we always need to educate. We always need to raise our prices. We always need to evaluate our markets, or maybe not always raise our prices, but we need to evaluate our markets. We need to know what's working. It's with teams, I feel like it's every 6 months I'm evaluating.
Oh, yeah.
Changing. It's like you entrench or you adapt.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I actually just had a chat with someone outside of the industry about their business, because they were, I don't do a ton of like business overall consulting, but they were like, man, you really have it together. And I'm like, well, there's times when I don't. But what I noticed about this person was they felt like, well, I don't have any more to learn. I'm at the top of my game kind of stuff. And that's exactly when their business started to falter. And I think that is a huge mistake. Even if you do feel like, okay, I feel secure. I will say that. Like, I know that I'm in a place where I had to take almost 4 months off for surgery and healing. And I knew, it was scary, but I knew, okay, financially, I'm sound enough to do this. I take a month off, sometimes 2 every year, and I'm financially sound enough to do this. And 10 years ago, I couldn't say that. However, reinventing and following trends in photography, because we are senior photographers, we have to follow those trends. We have to keep up with those things. And it's super important. But I will say, in regards to that question, I felt like I had my shit together when I found my voice.
Shit.
Sorry. I found my shoot together. Is that when I found my voice in my editing and within how I shoot. So once I had a strong perspective of what I and what I wanted to represent in my photography, is when I felt I could add value to my clients. I felt strongly about speaking to that value to my clients and to others. So I think that's when I personally felt like, okay, I've got this.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever really done.
Yeah.
No.
I guess maybe like a different way to approach the question is like when you feel like that what you're making, like I feel like you can't really have things together. Even if we ignore like photography, but when you're set on your business, when like, okay, if somebody's paying me $1,000, how much am I making? Like, I've saved for taxes, like just having that portion, I think makes you like a lot more comfortable in making like business decisions. And then as far as shooting, like I would say I'm 100% comfortable at a shoot, but I'll still come home and be like, that's not what I wanted. I don't like those. Like, but it probably took me 4 or 5 years to get comfortable posing and shooting at the same time and not having like a cheat sheet, which it's fine if you do. But it took me lots of practice and many, many, many hundreds of free shoots just with anybody who would shoot. Like, anybody in like high school, I was like, hey, do you want to have a photo shoot? Because I was so determined to like practice. But it doesn't happen overnight. Like you're constantly developing your knowledge of lighting and editing and like how you want to transform the pictures after, and then posing has a lot to do with like your style, and what people are seeing like value in hiring you for. Like if they're just standing there, then they're like, well, why would I need you? So just being appealing to like a teenager, I feel like is constant. I'm not saying it's any easier, but I do feel like if you were like a newborn photographer, you could say like, okay, yeah, I have everything together. Like I know how to do this. With the seniors, they'll keep you on your toes. One year it's like, oh, everybody wants the studio. And then the next year they're like, oh, we want to look like an American Eagle ad. And I'm like, oh boy, okay.
Yeah.
We have another question that came in. I love these questions, guys. Keep them coming, because this is how we all learn. We all start somewhere. Perhaps super basic of a question. No, there's no basic question. But how do you not lose money with a hair and makeup artist, especially when you live in an area where the weather is super variable and it's even odds that you'll have to reschedule the photo shoot? Do you just charge the client to pay the hair and makeup artist for their time, whether or not the weather cooperates for an outdoor photo shoot? The client needs to be paying the hair and makeup artist, not you. Do not ever, ever, ever pay the hair and makeup artist, first of all. And if you have, I know that the ones that I have used in the past understand this. They work with photographers and they know. Do you guys have any issue with that with your hair and makeup artist? If the wind's over 9 miles per hour, they don't want their hair messed up.
Right.
Or I know Kirsi does you do a lot of your own hair.
Yeah, you're licensed.
Yeah, I'm licensed. So I'm the wrong person to ask about like reschedules, because I'm easy if there needs to be a reschedule. Like it's just involving me doing their hair and makeup. But I hear that a lot. People saying like, oh, don't pay the hair and makeup artist. Like, do either of you?
No.
Is that just because of taxes though? I always pay mine.
There's more than that. There's more than that. Yeah, it's liability, insurance. If you suddenly are paying them that much, they're your either contractor or employee. So it's not just then suddenly you have to have workers' comp. Then suddenly you have to have all these other things.
And then suddenly you're the first person to be sued if they have a reaction or anything.
Yeah. So I will be the first one to admit I paid my makeup artists the first few years I was working with makeup artists, because I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know. In the last, 6 or 7 years, my clients pay my makeup artists directly. So I always put it in the invoice. I put it on multiple emails. Here's how much you'll owe them, and you owe them the day of, and I work with 4-ish makeup artists, hairstylists. And I have 3 that are in constant rotation, and then a 4th one that comes in when needed. They get enough bookings. And I've made sure to talk to the makeup artist, talk to the hair person of like, if it's a weather thing, we have to reschedule. However, I also have it where one of my, like the main person that's my hair and makeup, they pre-sign a contract with them that if the client no-shows, which I've only had one in like the last 7 years, but they do owe the hair and makeup artist money as well, a retainer as well.
Right. If you were at Push this year, the attorney did a presentation and he spoke on that, on the little things that we don't think about with our business, and he'll be back next year to do that again. But I mean, there's always something that we don't think about, right, Lacey?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I will say, like, if you are paying your hair and makeup artist, don't feel bad about it. Just start switching it up, because it's so important. And it is easy. I will say occasionally I still have a client that's like, what? I'm supposed to pay them separately? And I'm like, yeah, I mentioned it like 13 times, but okay. But yeah, I think it's really important. And to reiterate with the hair and makeup person that you are getting them the schedule, you're doing all the scheduling for them. You are getting these clients for them, and they get amazing photos. So if they get an every once in a while reschedule. Mine don't care at this point. They know the drill.
Yeah. Great question. There was nothing basic about that. That's
that was complicated.
I wish we could see who the people are that are posting this.
I know.
I hate that it's anonymous, but that's okay. And it probably makes it easier for people to ask us questions because they know we can't see who it is. Lacey, I know you have questions because you were in the group chat and you were texting all these questions.
Well, I actually have one that's not on the group chat.
Oh no.
But when we were talking about growth and everything, the definition of success is different for everybody. So what is each of yours definition of success? Because there are different things that people value, whether it's in their business or personal life.
Oh, that's tricky.
Well, I can start.
Please.
Well, so when someone not too long ago, I was asked do you feel successful? And I'm like, well, I think I work too much to feel successful at this moment. I know that sounds weird, but I value time off. I value travel. I value vacations. And right now, because I had to take some time off, I didn't have as much time off. So I don't feel like, I think I've come to a point where I'm okay with having less clients that pay me more and having more time off. That is successful to me. If you asked me that 5 years ago, it was having wall-to-wall clients because that's what I was doing. And I was very excited about it, but I had no time off. I had zero life. And just having, I have another business outside of this that I have to maintain. So having time for all of those things plus a social life is success to me. How about you guys?
For me, it is meeting my goals, the number of clients I want a year, maintaining work-life balance with my kids. Being a single mom, I don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah.
At all, ever. The time is fleeting. Brooke Daniels, years ago at Push, talked about how we have I'm going to get the number wrong and she can come on and say, she can text me and say, you got it wrong. But we have from birth to when they graduate high school, we have 927 Saturdays. That hit me in the feels. It's the one thing I can't save. And I have found that I am happier when I have that balance. I took 3 months off over the summer. My clients were still here. They didn't go anywhere. I still met my goals, but I got to take that time off and be with my kids. 5 years ago, like you, Lacey, I'd be up. I'd be responded to texts within seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, I made myself crazy.
Yeah.
And is the industry going to remember me when I'm dead and gone? No. Are my clients? Probably not. Are my kids? Well, they better. So that's my idea of success.
Mm-hmm. But I do think the industry will remember you, Vickie.
Absolutely.
It'll be a hot mess.
We'll be like, oh, Vickie, you mean that lady that kept us busy constantly?
Yes. And
deadlines in December.
Every time Vickie's like, can we talk? I'm like, oh, we have a project.
Sorry, God.
Oh no, I love it. I think for me, success is being able to support myself because I'm not married. And so I like the feeling of being able to manage my own schedule, pay my own bills, know exactly where, where's my money going and coming from. And how much do I need to work to stay at that same level? Or, sometimes I choose to do more because I do have a different balance without having kids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, how do you shoot so much? And I'm like, well, I'm deciding to shoot more because I can make more money, but I'm not missing out on something else, if that makes sense. And
it's all
just feeling secure.
Yeah.
That's great. We have a question, guys. Sorry, Lacey. I know you got
No. I've been seeing. I'm excited. These questions were backups. So
these questions are great that are coming through. Do you recommend minimum purchasing requirements for your clients? Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all have different ways that we do it, but there's all a minimum no matter what. I have all my clients pay up front, and then because I hate sales. I hate them. So they prepay for an album before they even shoot with me. And then money spent is money forgotten. So if they want more stuff, then I do it that way.
My clients have to pick between 4 collections. Amanda Holloway taught me that in 2013 to have the 4 collections.
Yep.
They have to pick those 4. They can't get anything a la carte until they purchase one of those collections, because that way, that's how I use the quote unquote minimum.
Yep.
Same. Mine have a minimum. Like they have to purchase a collection. So that's the minimum. It's never the collection they want, of course. So
yeah.
Exactly. It's very rare.
That's a different topic, but
yeah. I mean, it's rare that I sell my lowest collection.
Oh yeah, never.
A year, because they can't afford any more than that. And that's great that they put all of it in for me. But people think, oh, I'm getting that one. And then they get into the ordering session. They're like, oh yeah, no, I need, because I have it laid out, you know, all around me are canvases and acrylics, and I have the albums for them to touch. I have the announcements out. You know, it's like, oh, I gotta have this.
Yep. Yeah, I feel the same way.
Sorry, guys. Finley wants to go out. So
no worries. Yeah, I hate sales. That's like my weakest point. Maybe because I used to be a Cutco salesperson. And
oh my gosh, did you cut pennies?
I did, and I was so good at it. I was like top every month for like 6-7 months. But I felt so bad. So I just and I also feel, for me, I was like, when I did the what's it called? SWOT, like strength
SWOT analysis.
Yeah, the SWOT analysis. I realized my least favorite was selling. So people that have anxiety with sales, you can do things differently. You can still do sales, but you can do it differently. You don't have to be a shoot and burn photographer still, because I hated everything about that. And it was so much better once I just said, here's the minimum package you have to pay just to book with me. They prepay that, and then everything's from there.
Everything else is gravy.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're on the wrap up here. We've been going at this for about 40 minutes.
Oh,
Lacey, and I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. And I know that, you know, Kirsi, you said that you were going to be relaxing in December and January somewhat. No, you're not. You're on the Hot 100 detail right now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Hot 100 judging has been so fun. I'm done like with a bunch of the categories already, and it's been amazing to see everybody's like best work. It's so exciting. Yeah, I literally love it. I just mean from photo shoots. I have education to make. Yeah, Hot 100 judging, but that's a break.
CEO presentations.
Like, yeah, a quarter of my normal schedule, I would consider a break. I don't have to go down to 0%. I watched a Hallmark movie with my mom and grandma. Like that would never happen in the summer.
Yeah.
Lacey, what's the last question for this Industry Connect this month? Because Lacey and I are kind of committed to doing this every month and having people come on and.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask, because we touched on a lot of things actually, and all the people on Facebook had great questions. But I'm going to ask, how do you personally access creative inspiration for your photo shoots? Because I think you are a very creative person.
Okay, so I never used to consider myself creative until I started doing senior photography. Just because you do realize that once you kind of have like a basic handle on shooting in manual and posing and lighting, I mean, you can always learn more, like we were talking about, but it starts to get boring. If you are a creative person, like that's not enough to fill your creative bucket every time. You start to be like, nope. So I love doing creative shoots, but I am so random with inspo. It can be anything from like a shoe that I've seen that I'm like now centering like a whole shoot around. my like friend that's a makeup artist, she'll send me like a makeup look and we'll like center a whole look around that. It can be like, I get really inspired by like the seasons. We don't really have seasons in California. So like, styling for me is like a huge creative outlet, like, you know, using my style closet and saying, okay, like, how can I make, you know, this one dress fit all 4 seasons? Like, you know, technically, even though we don't have them, but, so yeah, I would say, and then like high fashion, Instagram accounts or like magazine ads, editorials from some of like the boho companies. Like I really love Spell Designs. So like seeing like their editorials, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to do something like that. And I mean, the thing you have to remember, like when you're thinking creativity, is like, it's not okay to copy other photographers, but it is always okay to like take that idea and make it your own.
Yeah.
And when it's a business, like they're wanting you to copy, you know, when you're looking on Free People, they're wanting you to buy that whole outfit. So, you know, don't copy like another photographer's idea, but of course, buy the whole outfit or like style it from somewhere cheaper, like Forever 21, and like use those vibes from like big companies. Like, they are literally paying people to set the trends and show you styling ideas. So like take advantage of that, from, you know, from those professional people. And I love to just like kind of challenge myself. Like I'll find one thing and then be like, okay, I'm going to like use that prop or, you know, theme everything around like this color scheme. I had like a shoot once that was like, I didn't even buy the thing. I just took a picture of it and it was like colors on this like thermos in the Target dollar bins. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Cause it was like some fall theme and I hadn't really thought of like pairing those colors before. And I was like, ooh, I'm doing that. So I made a whole outfit that was like these thermos colors. Like I just saw it. I think you kind of like, if you're getting started being creative, you just kind of have to, like be open to it, you know, wander around like Michael's or Hobby Lobby until you're like, oh, okay, I like that color scheme, or that, you know, that I could turn into like a whole shoot. And you just kind of like let your imagination run wild.
Yep. I agree.
And I know that you are creative because I spent time with you, and you're creative in other ways than just photography, but you're too humble and modest to say.
I don't know.
Airbnb that is like the cutest little thing ever. You showed me the photos when I was in the tree with you.
Interior design.
Yeah,
I think, I'm not saying I'm not creative. I'm just saying I never thought of myself as a creative person or as somebody. I mean, like when I was in college, I would be like kind of laughing at people that were like, oh yeah, I'm taking photography classes. I'm like, oh my gosh, like do something with your life, you know? Like I never thought of myself as somebody that like needed to have like a creative job or like wouldn't thrive at like an office job, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm organized and this and that. Like I want to be like a career girl, and like I did not like it. I have my real estate license. Like, no.
Hey, we have
but I mean, that took a long time to figure out that it's like, oh no, like I thrive much more on, you know, managing myself and, being able to like include creativity and constantly learning things. And
that's the creative brain. Okay. We're going to end this with one last question. We just got it in.
Okay.
Do you put together mood board, Pinterest boards for your client shoots, or recommend that they put them together to define the photo shoot vibe?
I do both. It depends on the situation. So if they have any specific ideas, I tell them I don't mind looking at a Pinterest board. But like we were talking about earlier, the Pinterest is outdated. Like, and I feel like we need to commit to like adding pins to it. Like the industry leaders just need to be like, okay, we're going to put up new poses and stuff. And so what I would typically see is like basically the same board. They're kind of mirroring my style with like boho, flowers, mountains, beach, white dresses. And so I stopped asking them to do that because every single board was the same, which I took as a compliment in like, okay, this is what they think they're going to get from me. And they're right. So I don't mind if they're like, oh, I have ideas. Like, okay, sure, show me. But I don't like force them to do it or really ask them to do it anymore. But I was in the beginning and I thought it was helpful. But now that I feel like that was when I wasn't meeting them before the shoot. So it kind of depends on your client flow.
Yeah.
Because now I'm meeting them for a wardrobe consultation, which gives me like a really good handle on like their personality and, you know, their likes and dislikes and getting to know them. I'm like, oh, I know exactly like what I should suggest for locations and stuff. So that can be a good way to get to know your clients before if you're not meeting them. If you're meeting them, I don't know that it's as effective, at least for me. If it's a creative shoot, absolutely. Especially if you get into using girls who are models or who are like even just more advanced modeling seniors that can look and be like, oh, okay, like I understand. Like I have some models that I show the mood board and like, I mean, they just take it away with the posing. I've trained them to do that, but you know, it can help with like the flow of your shoot, or even if you get stuck, hey, okay, like I'll tell them, you know, do your thing. And then when you run out of ideas, like we'll look through the mood board.
What about you, Lacey?
I do still use Pinterest. So I actually have boards for my clients that I link in my welcome guide. And it's like LMCP clients, like hairstyle ideas, makeup ideas, wardrobe and vibe ideas. But I usually have them do it before their fashion consult because I have clients that, you know, I have a girl that's coming in that's like very hippie vibes. And then the very next week, I have a girl that's like more grunge. And then I have a girl that's really preppy. So it's actually helpful for me. And I just have them pin outfit ideas. So they don't necessarily look up scene or portraits. They actually just look up like, you know, whatever outfits, and they pin those. And I am able to pre-pull because I also have their measurements or their typical sizing. And that's very helpful for me. So I pre-pull some items, and right when they get in, I say, okay, so you're not going to hurt my feelings at all. I'm going to hold up an item. You say, yes, you like it, or no. And that will help me kind of get an idea of where you want to go with this. So I usually pull about 10 outfits. Some say yes to all 10, some say yes to about half. And then from there, we go from there, and they can look through the style closet as well. But, I have found that that's very helpful. I get a really good vibe of like, okay, this girl's very retro and she wants, you know, I had a girl that came in that really wanted like all 50s, 60s outfits. And
cool.
Yeah. And I have a girl that's like very Stevie Nicks-y and stuff like that. So it's great because I already am starting to like, okay, I kind of know this girl a little bit, you know, before I even meet them. So but I don't like it. I will say this. I don't like it when they start to go, well, here's all the poses I want. I nip that right in the bud.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, you came to me for posing, not to Pinterest for posing. So yeah.
Awesome. Ladies, thank you for taking time out of it's morning for you in California, but thank you. And Lacey, thank you for being a part of this with me.
Of course. Yeah. I'm excited.
We knew, Kirsi, you were going to bring the vibe. So we were very excited when you said yes and you answered our text. If anybody has questions, you can continue to post them below in the thread, and, you know, we can catch them on the replay. Just tag whoever you want to answer it, and we'll look forward to seeing you next month.
Yeah, always. That was so fun. Thank you.
Bye.